Hey, it's me again, Andy Blanks, with our final teacher prep video for our Bible study, Jesus and Mean People, which is of course part of our Jesus Studies Bible study curriculum. Really hope that this has been a great Bible study for you up to this point. This is something that's so relevant to teenagers' lives. Mean people, they experience these types of people, these relationships all the time at school and with their various clubs and sports teams, and so it's relevant. I hope you've had a meaningful time engaging your students based on this topic and what Jesus had to say about it. We're going to land the plane with a really cool lesson that I hope is very powerful for your students. And really, I think once you teach this lesson, you'll realize we've kind of been building to this point. We're going to look at really that crucial moment, one of the crucial moments in Jesus' passion narrative as it's written in Luke, where we see Jesus do something that is so amazing when we really stop and think about it. We see Jesus do something that's so amazing and so powerful that if we can just teach our students to learn, practice even a little bit of this, it'll be life-changing for them and for others as well. You know, the passion narrative, it's kind of like reading a verse like John 3:16 that's so familiar, we're almost numb to the power of it. We read a verse, we pass over a passage like the one we're going to study today, or that you're going to teach to your students, and it's easy for us to miss the power of it. And so I want you to really focus in with your students and the meaning, the emotion behind this, the feeling behind it, and let them really sort of flesh that out. We're going to be looking at the moment in Luke's account of the Passion narrative where Jesus is being taken to Calvary, he's being taken to the mountain outside of the city. We see him engaging some of the women who are mourning, some of his disciples. And then we see the moment where he's sort of hoisted up on a cross. And then the powerful moment where he looks at his captors, he looks at the people gathered around him, he looks at the Roman soldiers. You have to know, we know that there were Jewish leaders in attendance and the crowd that asked for Barabbas to be released and not Jesus. Jesus looks at all these people, the people who have beaten him and mocked him. And he speaks to his Father on the people's behalf, and he asks for forgiveness for them. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Oh my gosh, what a tremendous moment. We make a point of this in the lesson. I think you can explore this. We ask the question, would Jesus have been right to come down off the cross and to just punish, unleash God's wrath on these people? Absolutely. He would have been right. He would not have been wrong. We know that rebellion against God is sin. The wages of sin is death. Had Jesus, righteous, perfect Jesus, the way he'd been treated, the way he'd been blasphemed, had he come off the cross, unleashed God's wrath, and wiped everybody out, he would not have been wrong. He would have been justified in doing so. But he didn't do that. He chose to forgive. He chose not to punish. He chose to forgive these people. And we sort of make the point in the lesson that these are, in Jesus' life, certainly the meanest of the mean. And we make the parallel with your students that they have those people in their lives who are the meanest of the mean people, who just push their buttons, who make their life miserable. And if Jesus could look at the people who tortured him and murdered him, and he could forgive them, then we can forgive that person that's making our life miserable at school. We want to challenge your students to do that. That's the takeaway from this lesson, is that we want your students to picture, to really think about someone in their life that has wronged them, that's been mean to them. We want to think about not only challenging them to forgive them, but to consider what that looks like practically. Now, as we worked on these lessons, there was an awareness of the fact that you may very well have some students in your class that are dealing with more than maybe just your average run-of-the-mill mean people at school. Maybe they're dealing with some severe bullying, or maybe it's much worse than that. Maybe they're dealing with an abuse issue or something like that. And when you begin to peel back the layers, this idea of forgiveness, just maybe be ready for the fact that you may have some kids get emotional. If you know of some of these issues, you may want to just be a little bit more tender here and use a little more discernment. But we still want to challenge students to think in these terms of the people that have been mean to them, people that maybe they could have the potential of harboring some bitterness or anger towards, and we want to challenge them to forgive them. But just be aware of those dynamics at play. The lesson will lead you in how to do this and how to practically sort of challenge your kids to do this, and I think it'll be a good thing. So, but I just want to make that point that there's probably some nuances here that you probably just need to be aware of. But you know your students better than anyone. I know that you'll handle that perfectly. So anyway, I hope this has been a great study for you. If you have any questions or any comments, thoughts, or anything like that, you can live chat us through the website, give us a call, email us. We're always here for you. I hope Jesus and Mean People went well for you, and I hope to see you on another Teacher Prep video. Take care.